Hello, quote artisans. My name is Shonda, and welcome to my channel Under the Needle. So I'm here for Thankful Thursday. I did not do one last week, and I apologize for that. I didn't have time. I was supposed to do a giveaway video on Tuesday, and I was supposed to do Thankful Thursday on Thursday, and none of that happened. And there are a couple reasons. One, I, you know how you can know what day it is, but forget its significance. So my fiance and I, we do a party every year for 4th of July. And because 4th of July is Tuesday the 4th, we're going to do our party Saturday the 1st, which means we have, less than a week. I'm sorry, we have more than a week, but we have like a week and a day to get ready and, get the house ready, get everything we need, do everything that needs to be done, and prepare. And when I spoke on, not last week, but the week before, when I talked about that Thankful Thursday, I forgot how much stuff that I needed to get done because I don't want to wait till the last minute and then I have like 2 or 3 days and I'm scrambling because I did that the first year because I'm not used to, this is like our 4th year doing it. I'm not an entertaining in my home type of person. Like I'll meet you out somewhere, but I'm usually not the type to bring people into my home to entertain. I'm not her. I'm not that girl. So, I kind of because I'm a procrastinating type of person too. And so I kind of procrastinated to the point where I had so much to do. I was so tired that I couldn't enjoy my own party. And so every year I've gotten better, right? Every year I've gotten better. And I've just learned that really everything needs to be done the weekend before, except for like last minute grocery shopping, because you don't want to buy all your fresh veg a week before. But other than that, everything needs to be done at least 1 week before the party, and that way you're just maintaining the house, right? You're maintaining the house. You've got all the major stuff that you need, and now all you got to do like the week before is start maybe seasoning and getting your last minute fruit and veg and all that stuff that you can't get ahead of time. So I forgot that I had a lot to do. And that's my fault. That's on me. But I did. I got a lot of stuff done. I have not done a lot of sewing because I haven't had time. I really haven't. Also on top of that, I at my job, they kind of increased my role. I wasn't very busy at work. I had work to do, but I didn't have enough to keep me like head down for 8 hours. I just didn't. So that meant that since I wasn't doing a whole lot, it meant that when I finished work, I wasn't like mentally drained or anything like that. Because I didn't have to, and I was doing something that I've been in this job since 2015. So when you've been doing a job for 8 years, you're really familiar with it. It's not difficult at that point. You can do it in your sleep. But when you're learning something new, it takes a little bit more brain power and energy and time and dedication and determination. It takes all of that, right? So I'm spending a lot of time at work, doing a lot of work. So a couple of things. Like one, I didn't realize how much sewing I would do before work. So like because my job it just wasn't demanding. It just wasn't difficult anymore. Was it difficult when I started in 2015? Sure. But at this point, no. It's like I like literally do it in my sleep. Yes, sometimes you might get a hard case, but for the most part, no. And if I get something hard, I have resources, right? So it's easy. This is new to me. It's not really hard. It's just new to me. And I'm a methodical, analytical type of person. I don't just like to know what I'm doing. I like to know the why behind why I'm doing it. So just doing a lot of reading, doing a lot of researching, and then doing a lot of work. So like I used to like sew in the morning before I would log on for work. And then like if I get a lunch break, I would sew during my lunch break, and my other break, like when I would take a break, I would sew. Like if I had a conference call, like say I had a conference call that was like an hour and I just have to listen, right? I'm not an active speaker. I might sit at my sewing machine and sew while I'm listening to the conference call because I can pay attention to the call while I just feed stuff through the machine or iron stuff or whatever. But I'm not doing that. I wasn't doing that last week because I was working every day from 9:30 to 6:30, and really not taking any breaks really, or at least not a break long enough to sew. And then when I'm finished working, sometimes I don't even log off at my scheduled time, and I might do a little extra because again, I'm learning, I'm familiarizing myself, and I want to get this right. So I just haven't had a lot of time to sew for both of those reasons, because when I'm not working, I can't really sew because I'm doing stuff around the house, or I'm doing extra work, or when I finish work, I just don't have the brain energy to feel like sewing. So it's just that type of thing. But kind of getting everything under my feet, so I should be able to return to my normal schedule. So I'm not really worried about that. The only sewing that I've done, and this is in 2 weeks. This is all the sewing I've done in 2 weeks. I still haven't finished quilting that coastal panel that was in the open gate quilt box. Like I said, I pieced it, I basted it, but I have not quilted it. I've only sewn 2 rows of my postcard from Sweden quilt. Tidbit that I didn't know, I thought that every square was unique. It is not. It is not. And that actually freed me up a little bit to make some substitutions, if you will. Um, because I wanted more of the brighter colors, and I had a lot of like pastels and stuff. And so knowing that some of the stuff was the same, I, did a couple switcheroos. Because at first I thought, because every block was different. But like I said, it's really not. So I went through, and as I was going through, I'm like, oh, that's a combination that appears twice. So it's like, oh, okay, so they're not all unique. There are a few duplicate blocks in there. Not that you would ever really be able to find them, except here they're like right next to each other. This one and this one. And it's like that. And that's the pattern. That's the pattern. So I did make 2 rows, and then I sewed these 2 rows together. And then I have another row that I sewed, but I haven't pressed it and then sewn it together. So, yeah. I think since this is a busy time, all the sewing that I'm going to do is, grab the stack here. I've got this stack by my sewing machine. And what I might just do is just feed the triangles through, and maybe not even worry about pressing. Maybe just feed the triangles through. And then at least all my triangles are, not all, but I'll have lots of triangles sewn together, and I can make rows when I'm ready. So I'm thinking that's kind of what I'm going to do. Let me go ahead and put the G-clip on here because I don't want to get stuff confused. Yeah, so okay, this way. Yeah, so not much sewing. And honestly, a week from today, everything gets shut down. So basically, probably Friday morning, Thursday will be the last day that I sew. So next week, I'll do a Thankful Thursday video. That's going to be the last day that I sew, because there be a lot of people that here. And some of them need to spend the night. Like my family, they come from, they're like an hour away, some of them. So they don't want to drive all the way home. And some of them just want to spend the night. Like some of them are only like 30 minutes away, but they just don't want to, because if nobody wants to drink and drive, right? So if you had a couple cocktails, nobody wants to be driving home. So quite a few people spend the night here so that we can be safe, right? So I need to clear room for air mattresses. So part of what was supposed to happen over the weekend was some of the stuff, because this is a storage area. Some of this stuff was supposed to go to my storage unit outside, but it won't stop raining. It won't stop raining. I think we're supposed to have a clear day on Sunday. Fingers friggin' crossed. because I need to get this stuff moved. And it looks like, oh, is Saturday starting to look better too? Is it? Vaguely, barely. So it looks like right now we're going to get a little rain during the day on Saturday. Sunday's supposed to be clear. So hopefully on Sunday we can get some stuff moved out of here. But then, yeah, once Friday morning gets here, I'll take my table there and I'll roll it back to make more room. And then all that stuff over there. Oh, you can't even really see it, but there's a bunch of bins and stuff stacked over there, and all that stuff needs to get out. And we just need to organize this space. So that's the project for me this weekend. I won't be doing the heavy lifting. I'm going to make my kid do that. He's 15, and he's been getting on my GD nerves because he's starting to feel himself a little bit. I don't know if y'all know what I mean. But, sometimes they get to be 15, 16, 14, and they start smelling themselves. That's what we call it. In my family, or in the area where I was raised, they call it smelling yourself. And basically, it's a phrase that means you think you're grown, right? I'm not a kid no more. I'm not a kid anymore. I'm not a kid. You really are, because you don't pay for anything. And you can't even cook a meal. So I'm going to need you to pipe down. And you can't go anywhere unless I take you. So I'm going to need you to know your place, buddy. So I'm going to make him work this weekend and move a lot of stuff for me. But it's just, since it's been raining so much, there just is a concern about the moisture, right? Because I already have a very wet yard to start with. My property was not appropriately sloped and graded. And so it holds a lot of water. And so I need it to dry out so we can walk back and forth without sinking into the ground. I'm exaggerating, but not by much. So I'm hoping by it clearing up Saturday afternoon that Sunday it'll be dry enough that we can move some of this stuff out and get this room together. So yeah, that's what I've got going on. But it's a fun time. It's a really fun time. We've got our menu already settled out. We've decided when we're going to take the meat out to defrost it and get it cooked. Not cooked, but seasoned so that it's ready to be cooked. So we'll probably do that on Thursday. We'll probably make some stuff ahead of time. Well, not make it, but like prepare ingredients, do some chopping. So like we'll probably get like the peppers and onions and all that stuff and tomato. We'll probably get all that stuff on Thursday and get all that stuff chopped up on Thursday. So on Friday, we can put the baked beans together. We can put the pasta salad together. And then, the pasta salad gets to kind of marinate in the fridge because it tastes better the next day. And so that's kind of what we got going on. There are going to be some people that are going to be here Friday night. So we're probably just going to make a big pot of chili. I make a pretty decent chili. So probably just make a big pot of chili for anybody who's here that night because it's just a simple, easy, one-pot meal that's not going to take up any space in my refrigerator. I thought of doing Chipotle. I really did, but I don't want to put that on myself. I do a really good homemade Chipotle burrito bowl. It's great. So I'm not doing that. I'm not doing that. I might make it for my kids, make it for the house this weekend, maybe. I'm thinking about it. I haven't decided yet. It really depends on how things go. So if things go well, because if today's Thursday, so if things go well, if I'm productive around the house and get lots and lots of stuff done, Thursday, Friday, Saturday, Sunday, then I think that I will be okay to make that for them. Because it's a lot. It's all of it. I've got to chop all the, I don't know, like so much cilantro. There's so much cilantro. And there's so many tomatoes. And there's so much onion. And I bought a little chopper. Because the first time I did it by hand. I did all the chopping by hand. Because I've always done all my chopping by hand. Because I never needed a lot of it. But for the Chipotle, they like it so much in my house that, like, I think the last time I did it, I made 5 pounds of boneless, skinless chicken breast. 5 pounds. Not chicken breast, chicken thighs, because it's just way better with thighs. I made 5 pounds of boneless, skinless chicken thighs. And there's me, my fiance, my middle daughter, my oldest daughter, and my son. There's 5 of us. It might last 2 days, maybe. Because normally my oldest daughter doesn't really eat when I cook. She makes her own food. But when I make that particular dish, there's certain dishes that I make that she will eat, and that's one of them. So sometimes she'll eat that, but sometimes she doesn't. Sometimes she doesn't. So I think that first time I made it, she did have some because I was so proud of it. I was like, look, I made some Chipotle, and so she tried it. But yeah, the last time I made 5 pounds, 5 pounds, and it 2 days. Like we couldn't even have it for dinner the second day because they ate it for breakfast and lunch. My son will just eat it. He'll just keep eating it until it's gone. So yeah, maybe I'll make that Saturday or maybe Monday. I could make it on even Monday or Tuesday. I could make it. But yeah, because Tuesday is probably the last day I'm reasonably gonna cook. So yeah, maybe I'll make that on Tuesday, and that's the last day that anybody in this house is cooking anything that's not for the party or the party people. So the chili on that Friday. So Chipotle on Tuesday, potted chili on Friday, or maybe I'll make the potted chili on Thursday. But I'd have to make a monster potted chili so that they can eat it Thursday and then still have it for Friday. Because my son will house my chili. I make a 5-quart stock pot, and sometimes I don't get 2 dinners out of it. I'm not the best cook, but there are certain things that I make really well. So yeah, that's what I have going on. That's a lot. I talked a lot and still haven't said what I'm thankful for. This is a weird one. I am thankful for Tanara. If you don't know who Tanara is, if you ever heard Everybody's So Creative, that's Tanara. And if you haven't, then you're missing out and you need to go check her out because I don't usually laugh out loud. Like even when I'm watching a comedy program that I think is humorous or funny, I don't usually laugh out loud, right? I kind of, chuckle but to be like, like tears coming down my eyes, can't breathe, that is not. This woman is hysterical. I don't even use TikTok. The reason I don't use TikTok is because I was like, social media is time consuming enough. I don't need another app, right? But I just decided, I don't know, because some of my friends would send me videos, and so I'd look at it. And so one day I just went up there, and 4 hours went by. And then another time I went up there, and just 2 hours just zipped by, just gone. And then that's when I kind of realized that TikTok is not for me. You can disappear into that app because the content is so short. I think it's like a max of 3 minutes. And so you don't have to pay attention to any one thing for that long. And it'll keep playing over and over again. Like, so even if you miss something, it'll just keep playing. And it doesn't allow you to do anything else. Like, for me, every other app I use, I can multitask, right? I can use picture in picture. So if I'm using Spotify, if I'm using YouTube, or whatever else, I can do 2 things at one time. With TikTok, all you can do is TikTok. So I had deleted it from my phone, and when I got a new phone, I never installed it. And then a couple of weeks ago, it might have been longer than that. But I think a friend of mine sent me a video and I wanted to watch it, and I had to download TikTok to do it. And so I did. And, but I hadn't been using it. I watched the video and that was it. Now, I didn't find Tanara on TikTok. I found her on Facebook. Not Facebook, sorry, YouTube. I guess she started a YouTube channel. It doesn't go back, it's not quite as extensive as the TikTok. But I caught her on YouTube, and so I watched every video she posted to YouTube and just was dying laughing. I would watch sometimes the same video several times, right? So I was like, well, let me go to the TikTok. And I think I was on TikTok for like 8 hours. I might be exaggerating, but not by much. Let's see. Let me think about this. It was probably a good 4 to 6 hours. Yeah, that's probably right. That's why I don't be up there. If there's something about that app specifically, but it's just, yeah, I might spend 6 hours on YouTube, but I'm watching news, right? I'm not just watching like random content. Like I'm watching specific news articles that I want to look at. Like I'll go out there, find what's interesting, and save specific YouTube videos that I want to look at, and then I will go and I will look at those videos. So, sometimes it's news, sometimes it's Missouri Star, when they do when it's Goodrin, Tipsy Tuesday, Happy Friday. There's a podcast called Here's the Thing that I love, that I think is hilarious. So it's like videos that I decided that this is what I want to look at, and then I'm going to go and I'm going to look at these videos. TikTok, it's just whatever TikTok serves you. You just, whatever they give you. And, I don't do news on TikTok, so for me, the algorithm just gives me funny stuff. So, but I wasn't scrolling general TikTok. I was just on her specific page. And I think she's called Tanara Chocolate Goddess or whatever. But if you don't know who it is and you just want to laugh, just Google "everybody's so creative" and it will come up. I guarantee you. I haven't Googled it, but I guarantee you. Like, she's been on the news like twice in her area. She's a lady out of Philly, older lady. She's probably like in her late 30s, early 40s, and just rip-roaringly funny, just ecstatic. The entire premise is to take, if you haven't seen it, and probably all of you have, but the entire premise of what she does is she takes these horrible cooking videos that people like to do, and she commentates. So she watches the video and she kind of narrates and commentates on how they put together the recipe. And she has certain catchphrases, and it's the way that she talks. It's hilarious. So when I need a little pick-me-up, if I have a little down moment, I can just go look at some of her videos, and I'm going to be laughing. Like and it doesn't, I can watch them over and over again, and it doesn't matter. Because I've seen every one at this point. I binged all of her videos in like one day. And today I was like, I feel like laughing while I'm working. And so I put on a couple videos and I just was chuckling. And then I had to turn it off because I couldn't see my computer screen through the tears in my eyes. It's so funny to me. I know I'm not alone because she's got like 3.6 million followers on TikTok. So, and she's not like a famous person. She started posting videos in 2020. So, yeah, that's what's going on with me. That's what I'm thankful for. I'm thankful for Tanara. And I hope you guys check her out if you haven't already, because you'll probably thank me, because it's hysterical. Anyway, that's it for me, and I'll see you guys next video.